Biden's position on illegal immigration isn't about what's best for this country.
That looks like a super spreader event.
First-time immigrant voters vote Democrat.
And with the stroke of a pen,
the Biden administration caused an immigration and border security crisis.
That has not worked.
Kamala Harris, who compared ICE to the KKK.
Cruel and inhumane treatment with immigration enforcement.
That's just not true.
The rapist or murderer won't face deportation.
Translation, get ready for a huge wave at the U.S. southern border.
Do you have any idea what might happen to you if you illegally cross the border into, say, Iran, Syria, North Korea, or China? If you don't face execution, you may be so lucky as to end up in a hard labor camp, where you'll eventually die after torture and deprogramming, similar to the upcoming and fast-approaching COVID-19 or Donald Trump re-education facilities, which, by the way, are already in place and ready for the admittance of any free and critical thinking American who should so dare as to question the legitimacy, competency, or radical agenda of the newly installed communist leader and career criminal, complicit in the highest of crimes.
Biden would, and I quote, dangerously increase illegal immigration and drug smuggling. And you said that Biden's position on illegal immigration isn't about what's best for this country. It's about future political power for Democrats.
First thing I'll do is thank President Trump for making the most secure border in my lifetime. Illegal immigration is down between 60 and 80%, depending on what month you look at, from the high last year, because of success President Trump has had, unprecedented success. So Joe Biden ought to come in and look at that success and build upon it. Because I don't care if Republican or Democrat, Independent, there's no downside on secure border. There's no downside on less illegal immigration, no downside on less illegal drugs, no downside on taking millions of dollars out of cartels' hands, no downside on people dying making that journey, no downside on 31% of women being raped, no downside on being a sovereign nation protecting Americans.
And with the stroke of a pen on Wednesday, President Joe Biden reversed part of the Trump administration's immigration legacy, placing a 100-day pause on deportations for some illegal immigrants and halting all construction of the border wall. He came out swinging on immigration, strengthening legal protections for the Dreamers, abolishing the Muslim ban, canceling the Trump administration's interior enforcement rule, halting construction of the U.S.-Mexico border wall, and extending deportation protection for Liberians.
Joe Biden has announced that he will halt ICE deportations, completely stop border wall construction, and deliver amnesty for 1 million illegals already unlawfully squatting in our country as they take jobs from Americans that are losing their homes due to overreaching lockdowns and hypocritical tyrannical closure mandates, suck off the tit of the taxpayer as naturalized and U.S. national citizens suffer at the hand of the communist regime that's committed to forcing you and me to our knees as we're told to go sit down and shut up. If there's one thing you do not do in a communist America, it's question the almighty dictator. Just go lay by your dish and take what's coming. God knows you've earned it.
Remember, in 2006, he voted for Secure Fence Act, which was going to spend up to $50 billion on border barriers. Now he says he's going to tear it down out of spite because he's being pushed by the progressive left. Limit ICE detention, put a moratorium on deportations, end worksite enforcement operations, support sanctuary cities, pass an amnesty bill which rewards illegal behavior, and on top of that, offer free medical care to illegal aliens. Why would you not want to come to the greatest country on earth? You're going to see a border surge like you've never seen before. You know, I can't blame anybody that want to be part of the greatest country on earth, but you can't want to be part of the greatest country on earth and not respect our laws. You can't disrespect the country as your first act to come to this country.
Advocates say they want permanent legislation, demanding an end of what they say is cruel and inhumane treatment with immigration enforcement.
What we need right now is Senator Chuck Schumer, who is now the majority leader, to do his job. And his job is to pass that comprehensive immigration reform bill and bring it to the desk of President Joseph Biden.
They're heading for the United States, determined to get in line for a promised amnesty by the new Biden administration. Changes to U.S. immigration policy by the Biden administration are motivating these Hondurans to keep trying.
We all know that during President Donald Trump's administration, the United States practically ordered Guatemala and Honduras to do something about the caravans, and also Mexico. But they're saying that because of Biden is about to take office, maybe his immigration policies are going to be more relaxed, and he's going to offer immigration possibilities to anybody.
In a Senate hearing Tuesday to vet Alejandro Mayorkas.
When Mayorkas was USCIS director, he used a visa program to grant political favors.
Biden's pick to head the Department of Homeland Security, the nominee spoke of Biden's commitment to providing relief for the caravans.
There's a commitment to follow our asylum laws, to enforce our asylum laws, and that means to provide humanitarian relief for those individuals who qualify for it.
But Border Patrol officers already have their hands full, as overwhelmed hospitals in Mexico send thousands of COVID refugees streaming into the U.S. every day.
Well, Maria, I think what concerns me the most is as we continue to respond to a global pandemic on COVID-19 in an economic crisis, trying to get millions of Americans back to work, I'm afraid that some of the actions that President Biden and the administration has taken is actually going to cause an immigration and border security crisis on our southwest border. And that's something that we don't need right now. And it's really what I'm watching, through these executive actions and through legislation that he's also pushing as well. So a number of these things concern me. The department has done a good job over the last several months of keeping increased number of folks coming to the border illegally under control. And we've done that through a variety of different authorities. And now we see a rollback of some of those authorities, so it really is concerning.
Because of the radical progressive agenda of the cabal that controls Joe Biden, crossing the border and illegally entering the United States is sure to deliver consequences that you may not even have been aware of. Thanks to new executive orders from the king, if a violent MS-13 gang member is caught unlawfully entering our country, that person now faces the threat of unlimited entitlements, including, but not limited to, free medical insurance and health care, with no requirements for repayment after receiving treatment at a clinic or hospital. That thug will be very disappointed to learn that he or she will receive federal benefits that include free housing, welfare, food stamps, and a monthly cash allowance. Although the rapist or murderer won't face deportation, he'll be doomed to a driver's license and the right to vote. Which doesn't seem coincidental, being that the leader residing in the militarized Washington, D.C. White House knows that there are at least 22 million illegal immigrants living in the United States right now, and studies show that an overwhelming majority of first-time immigrant voters vote Democrat.
The last 4 years, the immigration policy has been based around funding for a wall. That has not worked, even to keep the country safer, even to keep bad actors out.
So that's just not true. The border wall system absolutely works. They're moving resources to the border to process immigration, to process asylum claims. I think in a COVID-like environment, that's very dangerous. Again, the department was on a path to return individuals within about 2 hours of them coming over the border. I hope that continues. I hope that the Biden administration understands not only the border security, the real concerns and threats there, but also how that works within a COVID environment. So a number of these things are concerning.
So far, 21 Border Patrol officers have died from the virus in the past year.
When it comes to the individuals that are just crossing illegally, they're not taking much precautions. A lot of these individuals, obviously, they're coming across. They're not wearing any type of mask. They're just trying to, get here.
Now we're seeing the Biden effect because of the expectations that he has created. When these caravans come up, and really the whole illegal immigrant pipeline, Sean, they're in tight conditions that they don't control with people who don't care about them. It is an absolute human petri dish opportunity for the transmission of a demonstrably very transmissible virus. And of course, we have to worry about this new strain now. Ken, I'll use Biden's word. That looks like a super spreader event.
Pandemic or not, the Biden administration's talk of a sweeping amnesty for illegal immigrants is foremost in the minds of these Hondurans. Translation, get ready for a huge wave at the U.S. southern border.